City of Lights is home to more than 100 Michelin star restaurants. Anne-Sophie Pic is the only French female chef with 3 Michelin stars. That's one woman in 90 years. Traditionally, women have taken charge of the domestic kitchen. So what makes the professional culinary world so inhospitable for female chefs? We spoke to 4 women in the Parisian food industry to find out why.
More often than not, either my male staff in the kitchen would be approached to thank for the wonderful meal that they've had, and so he would always have to be like, oh, well, I'm not the chef like she is, and they'd be like, well, thank you, and a friend getting a comment made to them by their chef, and then that perpetuated the other cooks to make jokes saying like, oh, well, your initiation is, we're gonna rape you, it's your initiation, and then they tortured a mouse that had fallen into the sink in front of her.
Being a woman, it's like when I started, all the people here were thinking that I was a student and it was like my little job, and nobody was thinking I was the owner or the one that created the place. But when I started it, I had one cook and I could feel that he had a problem of being managed with someone that is a woman and younger than him.
The problem with the food industry is its toxic masculinity. The Parisian Forum is an international organization fighting this bro culture.
We have more or less 5% of people with degree in culinary arts are women. And then when you go to head chefs, they are very, very few. So it's the same as in other disciplines. So there is a very clear glass ceiling effect. And the gender pay gap is 18%. When you ask women why, and when you ask male why, they never answer the same. So the men are going to say women are not in the industry because it's too tough and it's too demanding. And the ladies, they are never going to answer this. The ladies, I want to tell you, we are not in the industry because it's a very male-dominated industry. There is a really, really boys' club mentality, and there is too much harassment.
Women in Paris are molding these working conditions with their own hands. They've had enough, and they've definitely lost their appetite for sexism.
We created a timetable that is flexible, where if you do have kids, you can have a job and still work in food and have a family at the same time. Because what happens is, particularly in France, but women get pushed out of the food industry as soon as they have children.
It's like, that's a very difficult thing for me to talk about, because I think it's something that's really important to me and to a lot of women that work in the industry, and to live sort of in fear of having that desire to create a family, because the people that you work for just don't think that that should be a priority, I've definitely run into that conversation, and it was very upsetting.
I'm very happy that the kitchen here at 10 Bells has a very big window that looks out to the street, because it means that children on their way to school, both boys and girls, can look in and see that there are women working, and that a baker in France is not necessarily a man, it can be a woman too.
Women definitely have a long way to go in the food industry, but with initiatives like the Parisian Forum and Alice Kay's Bakery, French women are chopping down the patriarchy.